doing a ceiling repair. First thing you gotta do, lay down your tarps. This was a roof leak. So a roofing company came out and repaired it. Now we just gotta scrape that ceiling, replace the sheetrock, and retexture it. Saturate the ceiling. So I got a spray bottle filled with water, and I'm literally just gonna spray all this popcorn and get it wet. It'll come off like butter. It's been sprayed. Now you just take a blade and scrape it off. And like I said, it comes off like butter. All right, get the whole thing cleared. Once you've got it scraped to where the damaged area is done, you need to do a fade. So instead of pushing your blade, you're gonna drag it along the outside edge. And you're just gonna knock down some of that so that when you spray it, you don't have a definitive line between what was there and what you're putting up. You're gonna prep the hole. So you're going to score the outside of the paper and just pull off the paper that goes around the outside edge. Like that. That's so when you put your piece in there, you'll have a smooth edge. So just kind of smooth that out. And now when you put your tape on, that stuff won't be bulging through. Next up, you need your wood. So you're gonna put 2 pieces of wood in there. And that's what your sheetrock is gonna screw to when you get it in place. And that way it's all secure and it won't sag or anything. Next after that, you're gonna put your mesh tape in your mud. That way if it expands and contracts, it'll hold in place. Okay, sheetrock's in place. Now I'm gonna use a 20-minute mud. I mixed it up the consistency of like sour cream. Let's see if I can show that. This stuff will set hard in 20 minutes. So you gotta move quick. I'm gonna use tape and get the other spots as well. There's some other low spots where the sheetrock screws and whatnot went through, and there's some divots. So anyhow, with the 20-minute mud, I'm gonna do 1 coat that's got all my tape on it, and I'm gonna let that set just to where it's got a good consistency to it. Then I'm gonna knock down the excess, and then I'm gonna wet coat the rest of it, and that way it's just like boom, 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 done, instead of waiting for everything to dry for an hour and a half or whatever it would normally take. So I should have a smooth finish here in 3 coats in a total of 15 minutes. Okay, it was less than 15 minutes, but that's my finished. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up, and then I'll put a layer of gripper, which is a primer, but it's a little bit thicker, and it'll have tackiness to it, I guess. And that's what the popcorn will stick better to. Anyhow, yeah, coming along. Okay, this is doing 2 things at once. While the mud is drying, get your equipment set up. So I've got the actual ceiling popcorn texture. I've got a bucket I'm gonna mix in, the hopper, and air tank. So you wanna set your outgoing pressure at about 30, and that way you can still control the feather with your gun trigger. If you have it all the way up to 100 and something, you're gonna be blowing texture all around the house. I've got water in the bucket here to add to my mixture, and I'm gonna grab a sponge so I can do it by hand and just lightly add it until I get it the consistency that I want. Same thing, consistency is gonna be kind of like a wet sour cream. All right, after I get all this stuff set up, my mud should be dry. This is just a badass song. Super important, I may not have mentioned, but you need to quarantine everything because this stuff will spray everywhere. And if you get it on your granddaughter's picture, wherever that is, somewhere, yeah, you'll lose Grandfather of the Year award, which I got apparently 2nd place last year, some grandpa in the Carpathian Mountains somewhere. Anyhow, so quarantine your area before you spray. Okay, got it all cleaned up, and I think that'll blend in good. Got a good fade on it.